Minecraft 1.18 is now in the past cause 1.19 has been officially released. Oh, it's such a big day. Well, not actually today. It's been released a long time ago, but you know, it's never too late. Anyways, today's video is gonna be packed because we have to cover biomes, blocks, mechanics, bug fixes, new mobs, block variants, commands, advancements, enchantments, effects, so much to do today. But I'm gonna start with one thing. Boom. Everything in the wild update all laid out, and everything we're gonna cover today. And we're gonna begin with everyone's favorite mob, the mob everybody wants, and the mob we all voted for, the LA. As far as the look of this thing goes, it's basically the cutest thing you'll ever see. It's literally a cute little angel thing. If you're looking to find an LA in your world, check out the Pillager's Outpost cage, and sometimes you could also find them in the Pillager's Mansion jail cells. For some reason, these monsters are caging them up. Basically, what the LA does is that if you have an LA, give it an item and play a nearby no block. It will pick up all other similar items on the floor and drop it off at that no block. And it can also drop it off with you if there's no block and it's tamed to you. Next, the chest boats. The chest boat is basically a boat with a chest in the back seat. That's all there is to say about it. Moving on, if you get into these boats and open your inventory, well, something has changed. It will be way bigger than before because there will be a chest added to it. And do you know the best place to drive your new Mangrove Red chest boat through? Well, it's the new Mangrove Swamp biome, but we'll get to that swamp later. First, let's talk about what's in it. In 1.19, we get introduced to a new wood type, which will be found in the Mangrove Swamp. Well, it's the brand new wood type that comes from the brand new tree type, the mangrove tree. The mangrove trees are probably the most unique tree in the whole of Minecraft because they are the only tree with a root system that could be above ground and even go into the ground. And their leaves could be massive, and they are literally ginormous. This tree grows from the new mangrove propagule, not the sapling, and it's also unique because you can actually plant it underwater and it will grow just as normal. This browning tree gives birth to the brand new wood which we talked about before, the mangrove wood. It gives off a perfect dark red tone which I think could have a huge potential in building. This wood also comes with fences, slabs, doors, gates, boats, stairs, and it's just one big family. Still speaking on the mangrove trees, we have a new root block, muddy root block, and a new mangrove leaf. Also, still speaking about leaves, you can actually bone new mangrove leaves to give propagules, which you can then use to grow a new mangrove tree. Another new block added to 1.19 is mud. And if you want to make mud, all you need is dirt and a water bottle. Pour the water on the dirt and that is mud. You could also take your mud, place it above a solid block with dripstone below it, and you just slowly drain it. Slowly but surely. And when it's fully drained out, it will turn into clay. There are also other mud block variants available in 1.19, like the path mud, which will be perfect as a path. And you could also get that by combining normal mud and wheat. Why wheat though? I don't know. Merge 4 path mud and you get a mud brick, which you can then in turn into stairs, walls, or slabs. But where will you naturally find this stuff? Well, it will be in the new swamp biome, the Mangrove Swamp, which is packed with mangrove trees, mud, and even sometimes when below you can't even see the sky. It's just like a huge leaf canopy. And you also find a new watercolor in this biome and also a brand new mob, the frog. The frog is the second mob to be added to the update, and in the Mangrove Swamp, you actually find the worm frog, which is white. There are different colors of frogs depending on what biome it grows in, which is actually very cool. And if you're in the OG swamp biome, it will be a brownish frog called a temperate frog, and if you're in the cold biome, you get a cold frog, which is green. Now when you give two frogs slime balls, some little hearts pop out, and then they get together, look at each other, and then whichever one decides to be the female at that moment goes to the water and lays eggs or frog spawn. And if you leave the frog spawn to grow up, it will hatch into a tadpole, the third mob in 1.19, which you can in fact pick up. But frogs aren't actually tameable, so when your little tadpole grows up, he might not just listen to you. And a frog related block was actually added to the game, the frog light. Well, it does have frog in the name, so of course it's frog related. But anyway, get different colors of frogs and you get a differently colored frog light. Frogs drop frog lights when they eat magma cubes from God knows where. But anyway, they drop in with a killer, and that's all we need to know. And the frog light also gives off a light level of 15. So that is actually good to know. Now that we're done with the happy stuff, let's switch up the tone.
Let's talk about the dark and scary things and take it to the dark side.
The other biome we have in the game, the Deep Dark, is everything you want in a new scary cave biome. It's deep and it's dark. Definitely very, very dark. The Deep Dark is the second peaceful biome added to the game, other than the Mushroom Islands, because not a single hostile mob will spawn here, other than him. No, it. But you can literally create a huge base here. Just remove all the shriekers and no mobs will actually disturb you. That is if you like living in dark and confined spaces though. And inside the Deep Dark, the Skull family of blocks will generate. And the first one we're going to talk about is actually like the head of the family, or the creator. Why I call it that, you ask? Well, it's because the Skull Catalyst will take experience from dying mobs and turn it into Skulk. The Skulk will spread only if a mob dies near the Catalyst and drops XP. But if you are not careful, you could actually create a world like this. The main block which will be created by the Catalyst is the Skulk block, which unlike the Catalyst will have the Skulk texture all over rather than the bones underneath. The texture is animated, and what this block actually does is that it stores experience. Now if you want to break these blocks, you could basically use a hoe or just your hands, and when you break it, if it's just naturally spawned or spawned by a catalyst, you get XP. But if you want to bring it home to impress your friends, you should use a silk touch hoe specifically. Another block you get when Skulk spreads is something called the Skulk vein, which looks like a cool animated vine or lichen or dark blue, which also gives just a bit of light. The skull sensor can be found in the Deep Dark, or could actually just pop up when the mob dies near a catalyst. The skull sensor senses vibrations and sends info to the shrieker, and the sensing vibration thing, well, it's big. It can literally transmit signals for you, except when its vibrations are done on wool though. And depending on what you do, you get a completely different signal from the skull sensor. The Shrieker. The Skull Shrieker looks more like an upside down catalyst with pointy bones sticking out of it and souls literally swirling around in the middle. And it actually looks like the jaw thing evoker spawns out of the ground when it wants to attack you. If you accidentally activate the Skull Shrieker, it lets out a shriek and gives off a cool new particle effect. Now, another place you can find these things is in the brand new Ancient City structure, which is literally the biggest structure in the entire game. It's that thing everyone is talking about and is shredded in complete mystery. What is the thing in the middle of the city? Is it a portal? Is it a mouth? Is it a rectangle? We don't know, and we can never know. Just like in the Deep Dark, it generating no mobs to spawn here except it. The ancient city is so massive that there are literally over 60 individual structures that make up the city. But if you unfortunately happen to wander into the city and tip off one too many skull shriekers, you could be shown the new darkness effect, and it's absolutely gonna be pitch black, and the darkness will keep creeping in until it comes. If you're lucky and wander carefully for long enough, you could maybe find some loot, like the new enchantment Sweet Sneak, which can be given to leggings to make you faster while sneaking. Disc fragments, which can be crafted to make a new disc, and echo shards, which can actually be used to craft a recovery compass, which points to the place you last died. If you're even more lucky and can get to the middle of the city without summoning it, you will see this portal thing, which is made with reinforced deep state, which can't actually be gotten in survival. It's basically just there, immovable and shredded in mystery. If you're unlucky, while wandering back home, you set up one too many shriekers, then I'm sorry, but you brought him into this world. Well, it's the most advanced mob ever. It's the most healthy mob, and it can even one-hit you. And even if full netherite, you're not safe. And this thing isn't even a boss. The Warden is bad news, and the best way to defeat it is to keep away from it. Keep away from it. But I will try to find a way to kill it, and we'll create a video on that later. But if you're not prepared and you go to this thing, you're done. And so for the big and completely new things in the 1.19 update, that's about it. But before we move on, let me tell you a bit about this thing called subscribing. Well, it's basically when you click on this special red button here, which you then turn it gray. This little number increases and it helps me get closer to my goals. It's a win-win. It helps me out a ton and you could get more useful info like this. Also, drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and now let's move on to the rapid fire round, that is the smaller changes. The goat horn has gotten better with 8 different types that play 8 different songs that I'll play for 8 more seconds. There's also a boatload of technical changes that you can check out later, and Minecraft 1.19 comes out with 4 new tracks, which are Ancestry, which only plays in the Deep Dark, Firebugs, Airy, Labyrinthine, which will play when you are in the lush caves, jungles, swamp biomes, and also in the menu. You can craft Minecraft chests differently, and when you break them, you get them both. And bow ores also now match the type of bow you craft. Glow lichen and vines can be grown on soul sand, and lichen can be now grown on snow. When TNT is exploded near spawners or ores, XP will be dropped. And also, with every new update, the menu panorama has been changed, and now it shows the new Mangrove Swamp, and it's nice. And now, everything you wanted but isn't in the update. The fireflies, which were removed when the devs found out that fireflies could be poisonous to the frogs. The bundle, which was supposed to come out in the 1.17 update, but it's actually not officially here, although it's over on Java and can only be gotten with commands. And the revamped birch forest, which was also supposed to come out in 1.19, but then the devs stated that it was never planned on happening, and what was actually showcased was just fan art. Beautiful, beautiful fan art that could have actually been in the game. everything in the Minecraft 1.19 update. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it and drop your top 3 in the comments. I would like to thank you for making it this far, and if you haven't turned that red button gray, you should definitely do that. And if you haven't dropped a like, please do that. Watch this video here if you want to see the history of all the Minecraft updates, and I hope you have a good one. Goodbye.